just record what you want. So this is like the committee of power, right? The powerful ones. Okay, welcome back. For everyone who had graduated much earlier, I am very happy to see you. I hope you will have a fruitful and rich time today. I have done this before with BDMS, as we were sort of alluding to earlier. But that class does not have the advantage you have, because you guys have gone through very thoroughly some of the Dhamma concepts, and you have gone through in a big way. Like you have spent weeks internalizing the Dhamma concepts. Today, we're going to see how that concepts can come alive for you. So, the learning outcome for today. The words are different now. Recognizing, experiencing. Meaning to say, when the concepts, because what you have been taught, 5 aggregates, tilakkhana, 3 characteristics, noble truths, 8 paths, conditionality, okay, you didn't quite learn conditionality, but they're all conditionality. All these to you are Dhamma concepts. But they are concepts which are expression of your mind. They are your mind. The Dhamma concepts are about the Buddha's description of what's going on in your mind, your reality. If you understand them as knowledge and concepts, they are just that. Cognitive concepts. But in order for you to connect, to link, to experience the Dhamma, you have to recognize these concepts as expressions of your mind. So that's why the first learning outcome, I hope everybody can take away with the first one, only the first one, is to be able to recognize the concepts, recognize what's going on there, and link it. Recognize it, experience it. Those concepts must come alive for you. Okay? It's a personal journey. It's not something that I can impart. You must recognize it for yourself. All the concepts are not standalone. They are part of a universal whole. You're going to connect the dots yourself. I will guide. I will point the direction. You see the direction. You see the dots. Connected. I point the direction. You go, what's there? Doesn't work very well. Okay, we must go back and try again. And if you really get it, if you have connected those dots, you will be able to explain the dots, explain the concepts. The final challenge that we have today, which is the second half of this class, is changing narratives. You see, we always talk about moha. You remember the word moha? Don't go and revise lah. There's all this moha. Moha. Translated as delusion. Okay? Translated as delusion. What does it mean? Why does the Buddha say that we have a delusional reality? That is because we have a pre-existing frame. All of us have a filter. We happily call it, what do we call the filter? Sanya. Sanya is your filter, perception. That is your filter. That filter has its own interpretation, labeling of the world. Okay? Sanya is your filter. Everything you know about the world has been filtered through sanya. And you will see the world in the context of your sanya. Your sanya, all of sanya, is delusional. It has a problem. It makes mistakes. It makes assumptions. The assumptions are wrong. Okay? Those assumptions are wrong. Then how do you fix the assumptions? You have to consistently, persistently change the narrative. So the practice, the Buddha's Dhamma, is about explaining reality as it is, describing it as it is, then telling you your version is wrong. We have to fix that. We have to change that. So the Eightfold Path is about the steps. I've said this before, I'm repeating it. Eightfold Path is the steps to change perspective, to change perception. Okay? In a very systematic but rigorous way. And if you are not persistent and you're not consistent and persistent, what will happen is you will take 2 steps forward in changing, then you happily retrace your steps in going back to your original state. And you keep doing this. If you are a good practitioner, you will take 3 forward, 2 backward, meaning you are gradually, slowly pushing one way. But you're not consistent or you're hopeless. You're one of those, I'm a weekend warrior, you know? I'm a weekend practitioner. If you are like this, what will happen is 2, 3. That day it goes back 3. And you'll be like this, okay? And you will KLKK in this life, then next life spring up again, then again KLKK, all this way again. Nibbana that way. We are always mucking around here. Okay, you're not going very far. So you have to, in this life, you have come across the Dhamma. You have an opportunity to reshape your mind. You recalibrate your mind. In some cases, you're just tweaking. In other cases, it's a massive overhaul. I don't know, yours is 100,000 renovation or a 1.2 million renovation. Don't know. Or maybe just $50. Okay? We don't know. We'll see. At the end of the day, you can tell us the story. In terms of the program, it's about the same. We are still going to start with Anatta Lakkhana. So the ones who have attended the earlier retreat, you cannot join another team. You have to talk amongst yourself. Okay, you got to find out from each. You all recognize who are the ones who had been on the other retreat, right? You talk amongst yourself. I don't want you to go and mess up people's mind. Okay? So you go and find your own friend who attended that retreat and you stay there. The rest of you, feel free. You have the whole class. So we're going to start off with really taking apart Anatta Lakkhana Sutta. Okay? And after that, we're going to start with the meditation. Today is really a full day of sitting. In fact, you guys are so experienced, we can push the timeline. We're going to do at least 4 sittings, if I recall my own notes. It's at least 4 sittings. Okay? And we are going to, in the morning, you're just recognizing the concepts. In the afternoon, we'll change the narratives. We'll start with the changing of narratives, okay? And then the Dhamma connection is your own. Then you say, but sister, I have not collected enough dots. Next year. Okay, now, this is just to explain that what I'm going to do today is endorsed by Buddha. Okay, it's permitted by Buddha. This is not me being creative using modern teaching methods. No. This one has been approved by Buddha, and this is how he said it. Okay? How is one enlightened, liberated? How is one enlightened and liberated? Enlightened is a personal experience. You have to have your own aha moments. You cannot enlighten by just remembering what I say. You have to have your own aha moments. And they are always put in two parts. Enlightened, liberated. 2 parts. Why is it 2 parts? What does it mean by that 2 part? You see, how is one enlightened? And it always comes before liberated. How is one enlightened? How is one liberated? It's 2 parts. Why is it in 2 parts? You tell me. Beautiful. Enlightened is to see, to understand, to be awakened to the truth, to have an aha moment about your dots, the Dhamma dots. If you are awakened, you are much better at letting things be. Letting it go if your holding is very intense. Letting it be if your holding is not so intense. If you're at a subconscious level, it is about contentment. Letting go, letting be is a choice. You made a conscious and deliberate choice to forgive, to let be. That's a choice. Contentment is a state of mind. It is at the subconscious level. At the start point, you must let go, let be. Eventually, your mind is content. You don't even have to let anything. It's just resting. It's okay by instinct, by habit. Okay, these are very important words. Fortunately, thanks to our 2 audio-visual guys, they are recorded for posterity. Then after that, you must write them, and they will give you the recording. It's okay. It came back. Okay. So I repeat. First, you must understand. You must get it. That is your enlightenment. That's your awakening. It is not necessarily fireworks and trumpets. Meaning the point when you're like, oh, that point, right? Not necessarily, no need. Not necessarily, okay? It might be a very small thing. And you go, oh, water boil like this. It might be just like that. Very quiet, very subtle. It could be. So do not get the impression that every time there is enlightenment, then the angels will come. And then the devas all float in the sky. No, not necessarily. You're not the Buddha. Ours are small flies, a small version. Okay? But if you tell me, or you believe, if you believe that you are enlightened, because some people do that, right? They believe they're enlightened, but they cannot let go, then it's not there. Okay? I'm just telling you. Because the two may be 2 stage, but they are tied together. They are linked. Okay? Because enlightenment requires wisdom. Wisdom means you are able to let be. It has to connect. So, for all those individuals who perceive that they are enlightened, or you say you know people who are, and then I ask you, so what can they do? What do they do? What do they understand? Oh no, they got magic. Nope. Magic per se is not. How do we know Devadatta got magic? We know what happened to Devadatta. He has magic. He is able to conjure, he can control your mind and force you to see things not there. He can do that. Oh. He can do that. He's able to do that. But he's clearly not enlightened. Okay, so it's just a point to remember. Okay, then he said, There are these 5 bases of liberation by means of which if a bhikkhu dwells heedful, ardent, resolute, his unliberated mind is liberated, undestroyed taints are utterly destroyed, and he reaches the as yet unreached, unsurpassed security from bondage. Okay. You know what it means, right? You know what it means, right? The words, that para. So there are 5 ways in which you can, the mind, when the mind goes through that 5 ways, it can reach a stage where it's liberated. Liberated. Liberation means what? Liberation means taints, smudges in the mind, unwholesome mental states, unwholesome instincts and motivations, akusalas. Your akusalas evaporate. But he used the word destroy. Destroy implies deliberate, conscious effort to get rid of them. Okay? So, to be liberated, if to be liberated means destroying your akusala, then to be in bondage means you're trapped by akusala. So if you look at your own mind, when are the moments when you don't want to do, but you feel yourself, you feel you have to do? You have this tension, this sense that you are being forced to do something that you don't want. When does that happen? When you have anger, when you want to scold, when you want to get agitated, when you have resentment, when you have all these experiences that you don't want. You don't want them. You want to be kind. You want to be chaga. You want to have metta. You want to experience joy. But there are moments when you feel you cannot have that experience. You have restlessness. You have agitation. You have all these resentment. But you don't want that. You don't want all those. But you feel trapped because they come out so spontaneously. So what it means is you are in bondage. You are in shackles. What's that Chinese expression? 情不在焉啊? No? It's a wrong word. See, or whatever, you know that one. 情不自禁. See, I'm not so bad. Teamwork, okay? Teamwork. 心不在焉. No, that one I know. That one is that you cannot concentrate, right? Yeah, same me, huh? I know that one. But you know what I mean, you are not, you're not in full control of your mind and emotions. You are not in full control of mind and emotions. And you're not in full control because the akusala has taken root in your mind. And the akusala, those conditions are causing you to, despite your better intention, you are forced. You feel yourself forced, compelled to do things in a certain way. Remember those moments when you want to yell at somebody or scold someone, right? That moment, we don't want to do it. But you're like, I can't, I can't, my mind cannot. And you struggle. It's because the Eightfold Path not strong enough. If the Eightfold Path is strong enough, it will be okay. Okay? Okay, so the 5 ways, the 5 methods. Listening to teaching. Buddha didn't add the word, but I added in, bracket, attentively. Because sometimes he says that. Pay attention. Listen well. But this here, he didn't say, because he was talking to very well-practiced monks. They're all very good monks. Okay? Pay attention type. But actually, it's listen to teaching attentively without multitasking. Okay? While you are teaching, while you are sharing with another. That is why for DFC classes, we always have conversations, discussion. Because, okay, having said that, I must also add the quality of discussion matters. But when you discuss, you remember better. Okay? So minimally, it helps you in trying to remember something. If you are sharing, your mind is forced to organize. When you organize, it helps you to clarify your thoughts. So it can help. Third, reciting. Okay, reciting means recalling the Dhamma. What does it mean? In ancient time, the Buddha's time, they don't have written texts. Even if they do have, the people who can read them, the number is very small, was very small. So therefore, they all memorize. They sit together and they recite. That's how they memorize. And all the monks, before they go off to the forest for their own retreat, they are given something to remember. And all they have is that one para, okay, for all of them. Who is going into the forest with a rim of Majjhima Nikaya? They only have one stanza, two stanzas, but it's enough. So what it tells you, right, is if your mind is ready, it is in a good state, meaning you're comfortable and you're all inspired, one stanza from the Dhamma, enough for awakening. So for those of you who say, I only know Dhamma Cakka Pawatana Sutta, enough. That's the one that is supposed to set up business, start business, get going. It's actually enough. Okay? Anatta Lakkhana is enough. Today, what we're going to do is enough. If you are enlightened where you sit, that's it. The rest of the way you know how to find. Okay? If you are awakened today to Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, the rest of the journey is yours to take. It is enough. You are awakened. Okay? So you don't need the rims. You only need that one stanza. Okay. Ponders, examines, and mentally inspects. Meaning to say, sometimes people learn by thinking, reflecting, contemplating. They compare what they try to recall what they remember. I mean, what have they heard, and then they apply to circumstances of daily life. So this is possibly in sitting, but probably in daily life. So in daily life, you can reflect about the Dhamma. Do you do that? Moments, snippets of moments in daily life, suddenly the Dhamma strikes you. Does that happen for you? Very good. That's number 4. Okay? And the final one is meditation. So you sit, you see, grasp a certain object concentration. What does that mean? It means your one stanza, for instance, your one object, one theme, anicca as a theme, anatta as a theme, the noble truths as a theme, it doesn't matter. One object, or the body, the breaking down of this body, the ugliness or unattractiveness of body, whatever, one theme, you sit quietly, the mind goes still, and it revolves around that one theme. And the theme can be metta, by the way. Metta as a theme. The Buddha as a theme. So this is the theme of faith. So Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. The Brahma Vihara. All these can be themes. Then you say, these themes are so different. No, they are quite similar. The day that the theme comes alive for you, you realize they're all connected. Okay? And the Buddha very helpfully gave us the milestones of an awakening experience. Now, Dhamma is a joyous experience. The awakening to Dhamma is a joyous experience. As he does also, remember the 5 points? Listening to Dhamma. So as you listen to Dhamma talk, you can also experience joy. Okay? If the Dhamma talk sings with you, connects with you, you will experience joy. And when you are joyful, it is possible for the joy to be so strong. You feel it, body and mind. So rapture arises like, oh, God, lovely ecstasy of the Dhamma order. Okay? For one with a rapturous mind, the body becomes tranquil, feel peaceful. When there is tranquility in the body, you feel pleasure. For one feeling pleasure, the mind becomes concentrated. I kept saying, the body must be comfortable. You start a meditation, having your body going, ayo, ayo. Why? Why do you do that? So feel comfortable, okay? Okay, no need so what, just move on. No time for so what. Okay, now, you all got handphone, right? Don't tell me you don't have, right? You have. If don't have, never mind, Eileen will lend you. As you want to go to Sutta Central, go to Sutta Central. Just key in under Google, Sutta Central. Look for Samyutta Nikaya 22.59. Okay? This is where I want you all to divide yourself into groups. The word up there is very small group. Very small group means not more than 5. We'll keep it down to 4, shall we? 4, groups of 4, okay? And the additional control is the ones who attended BDMS cannot be in a group with people who have not gone through BDMS. So we have a richer discussion for everyone. Okay? Did you find it? Sutta Central. Go to Sutta Central. Huh? SN? Okay. I want a Bhikkhu Buddhist translation. Oh, very good. I like you guys so much. Wow, see. Ooh, wow. But like that, how to read? Bhikkhu Buddhist translation, please. Okay. So for the next 15 minutes, I want you all to dissect this sutta. 15 minutes. Lots of time to dissect. Go. I repeat, if you want a bigger group, go ahead. Okay, guys. 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 You clearly don't respond to human voice. You need the divine chime, right? Okay. Some of you are dominating the conversation. I know. I'm going to let you all spend the last few minutes on your own quiet reflection. No talking. Finish this session with your own quiet reflection. Okay? What do you understand of the sutta? What can you remember of the sutta? Okay. Let's start again. What has happened to my board? My board has disappeared. PC? HDMI? Okay. The mouse died. Rested for too long. Becomes sloth and torpor. Okay. I'm not going to make you give me your answers. The intent earlier is for you to remember as much as you can, so that when we go into it, you can at least have some measure of, oh, yeah, okay? I want the yeah, not the okay? It's been changed a bit. So this part is obvious to everyone, right? Meaning to say, when we talk about the three characteristics, it is the three characteristics of the aggregates. What do you think, bhikkhu, is form, feeling, perception, shankara, and consciousness, permanent or impermanent? Then they correctly replied, impermanent. Is what is impermanent suffering or happiness? Suffering. Is what is impermanent suffering subject to change, fit to be regarded thus? This is mine, this I am, this is myself. No, sir. So, from this stanza alone, it's very clear. When we are dealing with the three characteristics, when he taught the three characteristics, it is the three characteristics of your aggregates. But why? Why like that? Because the aggregates are your reality. That expression, yatha buddha jnana dasana, to see reality as it is, it actually refers to the aggregates. So all roads on the Dhamma leads back to insight, an insight as to the true nature of the aggregates. And the true nature of the aggregates is that they are anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Okay? No magic. It is really when he said, the reality is in this body. Your aggregates stems from here. The arising is from here. Okay? So that's clear. Huh? So what? Now that you know this, what's your takeaway? What is your takeaway? You spend a minute, you think. So I know the aggregate. I know the three characteristic. Then? Anybody? Next time I want you to sit right here. Okay? Learn not to identify with the aggregates. Don't own them. Have that distance. Don't identify with them, so feeling is not you. Don't construct a reality around them. It's constructed reality. That's your so what? Okay? Okay, next one. This is only point 1. Your aggregates are impermanent. I forgot what I write. Dukkha is because of the impermanent nature of the aggregates. I repeat, it's the nature. It's in the impermanent nature of the aggregates. It's not because of the aggregates. Feeling in itself is not dukkha. The transient nature of feeling is dukkha. The body is not dukkha. It's the transient nature of the body. You're attached to this being, to that being. When being is not there anymore, you feel sad. It's the transient nature of aggregates. Is mind-made. We look at how he said it. Is what is impermanent, suffering, and subject to change, fit to be regarded thus. Fit to be regarded thus. This is mine, this I am, this is myself. The notion of atta is constructed. You leave it alone, you didn't construct. If construction of the atta is not in your subconscious, it's embedded there as a habit. If it is not there, there's no atta. So how did it come to be constructed to this level of reality, delusional reality? How? It's the strength of our attachment. Attachment to pleasure and attachment to no pain. The strength of your attachment is a critical foundation for your construction of atta. You don't believe me? Let's do an experiment. Think of the person you most love. Think of that. the person you most love. If it is not you, lah. If it is you, then so be it, you. Okay? Now think of death related to this person or you. Straight away, your la 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 happy day punctured. You want this person to be real so that life after life you can reunite, only to be separated at death. This is reality check, you see. So you think of the person you love, and then now I say, think of the person as anatta. Then there is a part in you that resists that. I'm asking you, think of the person you love, and now you understand conceptually you understand anatta. So I say, now you think of that person as anatta. That means the next time there is a reconfiguration, and there is a booting up again, it's a different person. Some of the molecules and particles the same, but other than that, new set of conditions will kick in. That person you love and know in this life is no more. There is a part in you that resists that idea. Because, why? Attachment. So it is actually attachment that drives you to construct atta. And finally, this one, is it obvious to you? Because, okay, this part is hard to experience. At one level, but this is because it is very instinctive. It's meshed together and it's very instinctive. This thing about atta having control over aggregates, right? Because it says, actually not this stanza, another stanza that says, if it were real, right? If the atta, then you could tell the atta, you can tell feeling, you can tell form. Don't be like this, don't be like that. The point that was made, you can actually tell your aggregates, let the feeling be thus, let the feeling not be thus. If you can will it, in other words, this atta and will are interchangeable. It's a willing process. I will things to happen in a certain way. But you know, there is no willing of the aggregates, right? Is there a willing of aggregates? Does that question even make sense? For those of you who are not comfortable with the floor, please migrate back to the chair. Can you, no, seriously, you think about it. Can you will bad feeling to go away? Can you will yourself? You can interject. That can. So let's say your mind instinctively say, black chair. Then, no, it's a brown chair. It's a brown chair. No, you know. There are that part of you can, it's very instinctive. Your body definitely cannot will. When the conditions are right, it gets painful. That's it, full stop. You have to change the condition. You cannot will the pain away. Okay? And willing is a very key part of your perception, your notion of atta. Why do you hurt me, you say? It's a bad feeling. My willing says, I don't want to be hurt. So there's actually that it's very subtle. I would say this, lay on the floor, then you all reflect on it over time. Okay, this is point 1. I think today we'll end at 6. Point 2. Was this obvious to you? When we talk about Dhamma practice, it's really about changing narratives, about the anatta nature of the aggregates. Let me show you. any form or any kind of form / feeling / perception / sankara / consciousness, any kind of whatever, aggregate, whatsoever, past, future, or present. Past, future, present, all mind-made. Your notion of time is mind-made. You recall something, it's the past. You plan something, it's the future. Even here and now, as you experience it, he says, whether past, future, present, internal, external is a mind-made division. You know there is a perception in you that there is something brewing, constructed, arising from thoughts. That's internal. Arising from contact with the external world. That's external. Okay? Gross and subtle. This is your sense of the constitution or the composition of matter or whatever in terms of intensity. Gross or subtle is in terms of intensity. Inferior, superior is your sense of measurement. We all have a sense of measurement, comparative. Far, near. Your mind is capable of looking at things here and reflecting on things away from you. All forms should be seen as it really is, with the correct wisdom thus. This is not mine, this I am not, this is not myself. What is he doing here? Changing narrative. Whatever experiences that you have, whatever the aggregates that arise, when you notice it, you must quickly say, not mine, not I, not self. This is deliberate. This is the part that is changing narrative in one version. This is one example. One example of using mindfulness. What are you using mindfulness for? Just to be aware of the present. How come it doesn't last? It doesn't last because your craving is still there. Mindfulness doesn't last when there is craving. Okay? The reason why mindfulness doesn't stay in a natural state, ever present, is because you have craving. When you have no more craving, mindfulness is the clear constant. So all those times, some people will say, we go for retreat, we feel very peaceful because you have reduced craving. They strip it away from you. No chair, no table, no proper bed, no food also cannot choose, they give you eat. No television, no radio, no that, none of those. They strip away all the craving, the mind settles. When the mind settles, mindfulness is natural. That's why your mindfulness doesn't stay. And then you may have heard of this expression, when they hit a certain level of practice, mindfulness, when they enter the stream, when they go up that level, and then the mindfulness is ever constant, because craving is reduced. Okay? So, here, use the mindfulness to remember to change narratives. Even if it is little things like, I'm angry, there's anger arising. This is not mine. I am not this. This is not self. There is no self. There is no self. Anger will fade. Or you see akusala, and you see akusala, mind must change for the better. Mind must shift. Mind must shift. Mind must shift. Then your mind will shift. Okay? So it's, I beat you leh. Even the machine responds to my will. Okay. Notice that the Buddha did not say, see anicca, see dukkha in anicca. He didn't say that. You look at the way it's constructed, right? The previous one. Okay, wait, go back. Okay, look at the way it's constructed here. So it means that the next retreat must change the words. You look at the way it's constructed. What do you think? Form. Is form permanent, impermanent? Impermanent. Is what is impermanent, dukkha. He didn't tell his student, you must see the anicca and the dukkha in the aggregates. He didn't say it like this. So what does it mean? If he didn't say it like this, what does it mean? It means that should be obvious. The aggregates being impermanent must be obvious. He assumes that you can see it. And dukkha, that it is impermanent, therefore it's painful, should be obvious. That's why he didn't ask you, see anicca, see dukkha. So you see, if that's all you have been doing, it's salah. So those of you who say, you must see the anicca in the... No, it is obvious. Did you have to see it? Silence means what? No. Silence means no. Or silence means uh-oh. But he said, all aggregates must be seen as it really is with correct wisdom. This is not mine. This I am not. This is not myself. So the part about changing narratives comes in there. Take the aggregate. So the practice requires you to recognize the aggregate. Okay? Rule number 1, you must recognize. So you must recognize form. You must recognize feeling as feeling. You must recognize perception as perception. Construction as construction. Volitional formation, you call it, as that. Consciousness, well, you are awake, you are aware, all comes together, consciousness. Okay? Agree? That last line? Consistent, persistent. Consistent means it must be a constant. It's a time factor. Persistent is effort. More effort. So one is do it all the time, as often as you can. And the other one is put in the effort. Even if you forget, do it again. It's okay. Okay? My favorite word today. So what? Now that you have hit this point, right? At some point, I'll realize that my so what shouldn't be there, but it's okay. Right now, it still works. I give you a moment to digest. You want me to flip back to the other page? This is okay? Take a sip of water. Okay? Everyone's good? Okay. Effort to change narratives. I know, at some point the so what don't come, not so useful. Effort to change the narratives will lead to your brain rewiring. The mind just follows. Okay? not quite appropriate for so what, but it's okay. And when that happens, when you consistently, persistently change narratives, you will rewire your brain. When you rewire your brain, what will happen? You tell me. This one not came from Buddha. This one from you. You will change your habits. The habits will change. More importantly, remember the Dhamma? Eightfold Path, what does it start with? Right view. View, that right understanding, that right view. That view is sanya. Okay? That right view, the first line, is sanya. If you don't realize it by now, it's okay. You just remember that. He cannot call it right sanya because he has to explain further. But I'm telling you, it's the filter. It is your sanya. So the very first line, why didn't he call it sanya? Because when you set out, it is not your sanya. It is a knowledge, a piece of knowledge. When you start the process of training and shaping and scoping your mind, when you set out, it is not your sanya yet. Your sanya at that point is what we call the vipallasa, the four vipallasa. That's your sanya. Your mind sees what is impermanent as permanent. What is dukkha as sukha. What is anatta as atta. What is unattractive as beautiful. When you first set out, your mind leans that way. Those are sannyas. Your mind leans that way. So with knowledge and understanding of the reality of the world, it will start to shift. When it has shifted properly, then the noble truths become part of your sanya. If it becomes a part of your sanya, then you will experience the shift in the mind. It must become part of your sanya. Until that glorious day happens, you are trapped. You are still stuck in this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of flip-flopping status. The mind sees things one way instinctively, then the Dhamma change the narrative, do it differently. This is how not the then you flip for a split minute, then back to the. It's okay. You do this is better than never happen. Okay? Okay, when the mind has rewired, you will see the aggregates differently. This is what it means. You will start to see, you see feeling as coming and going, as not constant, as flitting. You will see body, again, not constant, flitting. And it can give rise to pain, dukkha, when you are attached. When you realize how impermanent everything is, there might be that moment of pain. But that's not the intent. The intent is for you to see willing self irrelevant. They are just a conditional arising. You can see that. You may have a smile, this time deep from within the heart. Okay? Seeing thus, so you'll see the impermanent, dukkha and anatta of the aggregate. Seeing thus, instructed, because we are all instructed, right? Meaning you must have knowledge. Instructed implies these guys have knowledge and are practicing, may or may not, but instructed, usually it means you will have knowledge. You have the training, okay? You will experience revulsion towards form. Revulsion is very strong words. Revulsion towards feeling, revulsion towards perception, evolution of formation, consciousness. I will stop there first. I have heard of people complaining the word revulsion is too strong. It's a translated word, okay? In the same way that we are obsessing about the aggregates. We obsess about the aggregates. You may or may not realize this. I will tell you why we are obsessing. Now, maybe obsessing is the word you object to. But if you think of your stomach, you think of food. You think of the floor, you may think of discomfort. What are all those experiences? They are pain and pleasure. What is pain and pleasure? Feeling. Feeling. So you may see the tip of the iceberg, but you go deep inside, it's all about the aggregates. It's nothing more than the aggregates. And you know what's so cute about the aggregates? I find it fascinating, so I say it's cute. You will remember, you see, your perception is very much shaped by your feeling. Your perception also gives rise. These two are conjoined twins, okay? The two of them come together. If I were to ask you, from the point you woke up this morning, right? You woke up, right? Yeah, you did, right? You woke up this morning. Can you recount some of the things that you remember? Just say it out loud. What do you remember? You remember breakfast. Well done. What else? Was it good or bad? Good, right? It has stored into your memory. What else do you remember? Coming here. Good or not? Good, right? You will remember. So I will see you in future classes. What else do you all remember? Give me an unpleasant one. The train took a bit longer. That one you remember. But you don't remember, you don't remember that one. We will remember only the one that triggered pleasure or pain. And you will file those away. When you file them away, they become part of your sanya. Okay? So your sanya latches onto, sanya, you don't remember. Look, it's how many hours since you woke up. Don't remember any of that except for food and the train taking too long. And it will be like that. You cannot recall moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. The brain says, this is so boring, I don't want. Don't bother lah. But you will remember the ones that makes an impression. The only ones that make an impression with you are the ones that trigger pleasure or pain in a big way. The bigger, the better you can remember. Okay? The more impactful, the better you can remember. And therefore, our entire life has been dragged around by all this randomly arising feeling and perception. When you see them for what they are, a part of you may say, yee, why like that? I didn't realize I've been like that. That's one possibility. The second possibility, now that you know, that you're more aware, you may feel agitated that this is completely beyond control. You can't will it. Did I tell you guys about my experience, my crying moments at Pulau Ubin? I saw for myself that craving is the source of dukkha. Dukkha, suffering, is because of craving, the one thing. I was, in one moment, totally delighted. It's just Dhamma joy, right? Boom. Oh, it's so beautiful. Next moment is die. How to stop craving? Because at that time, no Eightfold Path yet, ma. Just one retreat and like that, lor. So no Eightfold Path. I didn't realize that the Eightfold Path is about tackling your craving. Eightfold Path is not tackling dukkha, it's for tackling craving. Because it tackles your craving, dukkha will cease by itself. Okay? And so that was my experience with being completely distraught by aggregates, by the craving. Of course, at that time, not so chim, at that time, it's just like craving. But today, I realize that it is all about realizing the lack of control over the aggregates. You have no control over craving. Okay? What happened again? Rex, would you like to sit here? I know. I'm supposed to do this, right? And do this. And then do your laptop lah. Yeah, don't make the laptop sleep. Oh, okay. I got it up, but don't make it sleep. Okay. So that part first, huh? Then it goes on. Experiencing revulsion, he becomes dispassionate. It sounds really easy, but Buddha sort of shortcut the explanation. See, what it means is, when you were to look at something, so this is actually swinging between the two extremes. Your regular mind is obsessing over the aggregates. Our regular mind, before training and instruction, our instincts is to love and be completely obsessed about the aggregates. You see them for what they are. They are bubbles. They are transient. They are not real. They have been cheating you all this life. At some point, you get upset with them. Like, why like that? I don't like that. This is the other extreme. But that's not where you should land. You have to land in the middle. At some point, you just accept them for what they are. Conditionally a reason. You don't push, you don't grab. It is just like that. That is the point when you will become dispassionate. You have no preferences. They are arising and they fall away. When you can reach that stage, the mind let go. So no more craving, no more chasing. Because you don't crave, you don't chase, the mind feels free. Okay? Liberated. When it is, so you see, awakening first. Awakening first. The awakening means at the point when you realize the aggregates for what they are, the characteristics, you realize that you'll be attached to conditional arising. It's been like that. Because of that, you will have a certain aversion to them. But at some point, you accept them for what they are, the aversion fades. So you reach a balance. When you hit a balance, you can accept them for what they are. You are dispassionate. The mind is no longer caught by aggregates. No longer trapped by the delusion of your attachment to aggregates. Okay? Comes the knowledge, is liberated. Okay. This one a bit chimmer. So basically, you're all enlightened. You get to this stage. These are the stages. You'll know exactly what it means already. You're enlightened. Okay? Okay, no need already. For the next 5 minutes, on your own, personal reflection, okay? First, for maybe a few minutes, maybe not 5, depending on your group, how fast they work. I want you to draw up for yourself what to do. Now that you have all this understanding, what do you plan to do? What is your practice? You draw up for yourself a list. Then, It doesn't have to be the BDMS group anymore. You can spread out, okay? Pick one partner. One partner only. You share your own to-do list. Okay? I repeat, do your own list. Now that you understand the practice, what must you do? What do you want to do? You don't sit there and tell me, I meditate every day. It's more than that. Okay? 5 minutes reflection, then write down, then pick a partner, then you share. The sharing should be 5 minutes each, okay? Each. Never follow instruction. This side all very quiet. This side all recalcitrant. Oh, no, this is completely recalcitrant. Two people. Okay, guys. Hello. Don't worry, don't worry. The break is coming. But I want to hear what you have to say. Okay? So what must you do? What are some of the things that you will do? Let's hear. Okay. Very nice. What else? Yes. Reduce coloring. Save money, save money. Okay, very good. What else? Same concept. Yes. What else? Reflect on death. Very good. What else? Share for others. Journaling about your own Dhamma reflection. Okay. I see. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's a way of keeping track of your own growth and reflections. Okay, very good. Journaling. What else? Yes. Reciting the part on impermanent. I see. Okay, so you wake up and you do a reflection for the day. Okay. Okay, very good. Anyone else? Yes, please. Simplicity in food. Well done. Yeah. Anyone else want to share? Yes, please.
In the morning when I open my eyes, I will do short chanting for the forms.
Okay.
It's not me, form,
Okay.
not form, it's not mine.
Very good. Yeah. Okay.
In the morning and in the evening before I do my meditation, I also do that.
Okay.
Constant reminder.
Okay. Very good. Anything else? Anyone else want to share? Okay. I will give you a system. A system. I know earlier I didn't say a thing. Let you all do whatever you want. So now I'm going to share with you a certain thought. First and foremost, you need to be aware of yourself. You have to know what are your limitations and what are your strengths. You write on your strengths, you learn to overcome the limitations. What do I mean by that? You know about the 5 mental states? It's in your class notes. Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Okay? 5 mental states. Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. These 5 mental states you want to build. You want to build. You must know your strengths, which mental states comes easiest for you, which mental states a little bit more handicapped, distorted or comes in jerks for you, because they're not the same. Saddha, you want to reinforce. Many of us here by now, no problem with that one. Okay? Saddha, not a big problem for many of us here. You just have to remind yourself, the Buddha's right, the teaching is there. You want to, if you want to, spend a bit of time each day, pull out one stanza, pull out one chapter. Last time when Yen and I were just on this path looking for the Dhamma, every night she will read one Majjhima Nikaya discourse. I will read maybe once a week. I'm the recalcitrant one. But for me, the Dhamma comes very easy in daily life. The reflection part, I can be doing whatever and then suddenly the stanza will come out in my head. So for me, it's more that style. So you must know your own style. This is self-awareness, okay? Some people require ritual to keep holding the faith. Some people, some don't. This is your choice. You decide what works for you. Virya is all about the pure mind. It's all about making effort to make the mind more giving. Brahma Vihara is all part of Virya. And you know, I think most of us is lacking in that one. Your mind leans towards the negative. Why am I so like that? Instead, it should be, oh, rejoice, I am like that. And I'm in that state. Metta, Karuna, whatever it is. The wholesome mental state You want to build it into part of your life. Starting with chaga, and then this one will say, music to my ear. Chaga, very powerful. You want to do that. Sati Samadhi. Sati Samadhi is not just about sitting and meditating. If you can find the time, great. If you say for whatever reason your life is so busy, give yourself 5, 10, 15 minutes, do nothing. You go toilet also that long, what? Then in that state, you allow the mind to settle on the breathing, settle on the form, settle to do nothing. I repeat, Sati Samadhi is to allow the mind to settle. That moment of breathing, watching breathing, that moment of doing nothing, allowing the mind to be present. I give you an hour, you say too long. 5, 10 minutes, you can do it daily. Pockets around the whole day. When you're eating lunch, just have that quiet. Done with lunch, you want to settle, give yourself 10 minutes breathing. That's all. You want to help the mind to develop the muscles to know how to settle. Okay? One solid sitting a week doesn't count. You don't want one ginormous meal. You want snacks in between. I use food analogy, or people were like, makes sense. Yeah? Train the mind to know how to return to the dock and recharge. I'm thinking of my Xiaomi. Yeah, that's the idea. You know how to settle. The mind must know how to settle. And the final one, panya. You don't build muscles for the other 4. Panya very hard to arise. Panya cannot be willed. You don't will panya into existence. All mental states are conditionally a reason. Lay the correct condition, they will come out by themselves. Conditions wrong, they will not come out. Okay? You cannot will yourself into wisdom. But you put in place saddha, virya, sati, samadhi, panya will rise by itself. By itself. There will be pockets of moment when you say, see, let it be. This is me being in a state. This is the mind being in a state of contentment. This is the mind struggling to be chaga, but it won. This kind of things. You will become very aware of what's going on in the mind. Okay? So my first advice to you is have a sense of your own strengths and limitations. Which is the mental states that comes easiest for you? You want to continue building there. You neglect it, it will fade. You want to continue building there and let that be a foundation for other mental states. Okay? So that's point 1. Know yourself, know your mental states, build what is necessary. The second point is you never have one day disconnected from the Dhamma. Whether it's from your own reflection, from a reading, from a podcast, from whatever. It can just be your own quiet, like you say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, snack time of sati samadhi, right? Just sit quietly, watch breathing. And then if Dhamma knowledge arises, beautiful. That's your homework for the day. If it doesn't arise, minimally, you can give thanks and share merits. Chaga for the day. Every act, every wholesome act, you take it as a learning point. It is you being more human, being more humane, being more connected with others. That's all. 2 points. Point 1, build on your strengths. Know your weaknesses. Point 2, never connect with the Dhamma daily. Connect daily. Okay? Okay, done. Reflect. Now you go back and you rewrite your own notes again. Then you take a break. going to start soon. I hope no one is having a tea break. It should be a pee break. Long queue? Okay. Shall we all settle? Well, at some point we should settle. Maybe you help me, Zai, help me to tell them. If they are ready, please come back. first. No more? All in? Okay. Okay. Lights out. You'll just be comfortable, okay? All samadhi sitting should start with you experiencing body calm, body comfort. This sitting is about recognizing and experiencing body aggregate. So we are going to do deep breathing in. If you've done it, just let be. If you're just settling down, deep breathing in, slow release, deep in, slow release. The intent here is to settle the body. Let the body come down. You should feel the contact, strong contact between your body and the surface. I want you to feel the body settling into the surface. If you're on a chair, feel your body settling into the chair. For a short while, just feel the contact point between your body and the surface. Feel the weight of the body resting on the surface. As you feel the weight of the body, your mind is settling into the body. For those of you who feel that you are dozing off or drifting off, it's okay. You adjust the body. You can shift it slightly. So at the start, feel the shape of your body. Feel the shape of your body. Feel the mind settling into the body. As you look at this body, you will notice the body is breathing. It's very subtle. You just observe this breathing. Feel the body. Observe the breathing. Your mind is content. The mind is comfortable. The mind settles into the breathing. I repeat, the mind is content. The mind settles into the breathing. You must feel this contentment of the mind, quiet, content, settles. Stay with the body. Feel the body. If you find yourself dozing, you allow attention to scan the body. If you find yourself dozing, if you're okay, you just settle in the breathing. Feel contentment. So in your breathing, you experience peace, calm, and contentment. Now you observe the body. Observe the body. I will go quiet over the next 10 minutes. In case you're drifting, you want to anchor the mind on the body. Go back to the body. Contentment. Resting the mind on the body. Observe the rising and falling away in the body. When you notice that your mind is reinforcing mindfulness, so it keeps going back to the object, and you observe, that's present, that's mindfulness. When the mind settles, it doesn't move around, it settles and it doesn't move around, that is going into samadhi. Some of you are happily settled. You will experience pleasant sensation. If you want to continue, you can. Some of you are waiting for the time to end. you can. But you end like this. Deep breath first. This is called rousing your body. Deepen your breath, your breathing, deepen it. You move your fingers first. And you move your toes. Wriggle it. But you must do it quietly. You will mindfully stir because you don't want to disturb your friends. We can continue sitting for another 5 minutes if you want to. The rest you stir, stretch quietly. So those of you who are out of meditation, can you still mindfully watch your breath? It's part of your mind should still settle on the breathing. Your mind should still be clear about the body. You transit from the samadhi state to a more awakened, more regular mind. But the transition can be slow and steady. you like to meditate through lunch? Slowly stretch. Slowly, Dika. Slowly. In the new BF, right, we should have switched at the speaker corner. One of those knob ones you can adjust slowly. Yeah. See my loba? Like all mental states, samadhi also cannot be willed. Okay? For those of you who may feel a little disappointment, all the right conditions, from my soothing voice to the comfortable room to such a congenial, lovely, gentle, soft energy. Why I still like that? Okay? Samadhi, like all mental states, cannot be willed. You cannot say, I want means I will have. It's conditional arising. Okay? It's conditional arising. It doesn't mean you are skillful or not. Maybe I didn't memorize the steps enough. No. It is nothing to do with technical, mechanical competencies. It's nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the condition of your mind. When the mind has wanting, I want it this way, I want it that way, I have preferences, I don't want to sleep, I want to stay alert, awake, I want my full lotus positions. The more wants you have, the more the conditions are not there. Conditions are not there. So what are the conditions required? Your start point must always be soft, gentle. The mind must be gentle. It has to settle. So I introduce you to the body. You want to be comfortable. You want to settle. The Buddha says, secluded from sensual desire